Imagine a prank so dangerous it could lead to injury or even death. Michigan Senate Bill 202 of 2025 aims to combat swatting, the act of making false emergency calls to dispatch armed police to unsuspecting victims. In this episode, we'll delve into the details of this proposed legislation and its potential impact on public safety. That's next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, in this special Legislative Spotlight edition, where we delve into the latest legislative developments shaping public safety laws in the U.S. I'm your host, Fletch. I'm an ENP, and today we're examining Michigan State Bill 202 of 2025, a significant proposal addressing the issue of swatting. On April 15, 2025, Senator Dayna Polehanki introduced Senate Bill 202, aiming to amend Section 411A of the Michigan Penal Code. The bill seeks to criminalize the act of intentionally making false reports that summon law enforcement to a residence under the guise of a serious emergency, a practice commonly known as swatting. Swatting involves making malicious hoax calls to emergency services and falsely reporting severe incidents like violent crimes or bomb threats, with the sole intent of eliciting an urgent police response to an unsuspecting individual's location. This dangerous prank not only misuses emergency services, but also poses significant risks to the targeted individuals as well as the responding officers. Key provisions of Michigan State Bill 202 are criminalization. The bill proposes to make it a felony to knowingly and intentionally make false reports of serious law enforcement emergencies that summon police to a residence. It prescribes a series of penalties for the offense, where a standard offense would be punishable by up to 4 years in prison. If the swatting incident results in a physical injury, that raises the stakes and the perpetrator could face up to 5 years in prison with fines up to $20,000. If the injury results in a serious impairment of a body function, that'll increase the penalty to up to 10 years in prison and fines up to $25,000. And in cases where the swatting leads to death, the offender could face up to 15 years in prison and fines that range from $25,000 to $50,000. But the bill also covers restitution. Under the current language, the courts may order offenders to reimburse the state or local governments for the costs incurred during the emergency response. These include the deployment of police, fire, and medical services, which can often reach into the tens of thousands of dollars per incident. The current legislative context of the bill is that it's been referred to the Senate Committee on Civil Rights, Judiciary, and Public Safety for further deliberation. The bill underscores the state's commitment to deter malicious acts that endanger public safety and strain emergency response systems. Swatting is a serious offense with potentially tragic consequences. Michigan's SB 202 represents a proactive step toward safeguarding communities and ensuring that emergency services are not exploited for malicious purposes. For more detailed information on SB 202, including the full text and legislative history, you can visit the official Michigan Legislature website, and we'll have the link to that in the description of this podcast. That wraps up this episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety, Legislative Spotlight Edition. This is Fletch. I'm Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform, as well as a NENA certified ENP. You can follow me on social media at Fletch911, and remember to check out all of our podcasts at 911tips.com. Until next time, thanks so much for listening, and if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every day. We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. NG911.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good. TiPS is brought to you by 911 Inform, the leading next-generation 911 solution for enterprise compliance with federal 911 regulations. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. 911 Inform, making every second count when it matters the most.